So in the last class, we had a problem due to the connectivity. So therefore we couldn't continue. So let's start the class for today. So am I audible clearly?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's start the class with the whiteboard. So in the last class, we drew this circuit where we have a coil of n number of turns and a DC voltage source is applied across it, and we got some voltage. Okay. Now, if you can remember, forget about this end. If the inductance of the coil is L is the inductance. Inductance of the coil. So that means this V we can write from this expression is V minus L di dt. The I is the current flowing through it equals to 0, isn't it?
একটা কাজ করে দেবে একটু ওই ঘর থেকে আমার একটা খাতা এনে দাও না কি করছো একটু কফি বানিয়ে দাও
Okay. So V equals to L di dt. From this expression we get V equals to L di dt. Okay. Now, as per this equation is concerned, what we have taken a DC voltage source, and across it voltage is induced, which is E. And if the E has this polarity, so we can also write like this: V equals to minus or E. V equals to E. And what is E? E is basically L di dt. Is it okay? Now, another expression that we know, suppose some induced voltage will be there in the coil, and that is equals to, what is that? The induced voltage in the coil due to some flux linkage change that we get from Faraday's law, that is N d phi dt. So how this equation is related to this? We know this equation, and we also know this equation, isn't it? So both the equation is well known. Now how we can relate these two? Okay, now you just see. Now this E prime, that is N d phi dt, this expression can be written as N d phi di into di dt. Can't you write like this? Okay. So if we can write like this, then what is this term? This term is basically the N d phi di, or if we take d of N phi di, that means it's basically the flux linkage. So that means this is rate of change of flux linkage with respect to the current. Okay, and this is defined as L. Okay, so that means we can write L di dt. Is it okay? So that means the same expression we can write like this.
Sir, what is
E
E
equals
dash?
to
What is E dash?
E dash is defined here,
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
and that should be minus E dash. That either you can write L di dt, or you can write N d phi dt. So these two are the similar expression. When we have flux, we have number of turns, then we can use this equation. If we have current, inductance is known, then we can use this expression. The same thing we'll get, that is the minus E or E. Okay, now what is the difference between the minus E and E? So that you have to understand very clearly. Now, you should know this, that suppose I have a battery, okay, and I am assuming my current is flowing in this direction. This is the battery, this is the voltage V. I am assuming the current is flowing to this direction. And suppose I have a resistance. Okay, the resistance is a passive element. And I am assuming the current is flowing in this direction. Okay, so we know that in resistance the current flows from positive to negative potential. Okay, but in case of battery, generally we see that current flows from negative to positive potential. So whatever the case, suppose if I assume the current like this, and if we assume the current like this, and if the resistance is R, so when we'll write the KVL equation, what we should write for this voltage source? We should write plus V. And for this resistance, we should write minus I into R. Do you know this convention?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Because in resistance, the potential is dropped. So therefore it is minus IR. In voltage source, the volt potential is gained, negative to positive. So potential is gained. So therefore it is plus V. But suppose if I assume the current like this, the same voltage will be minus V. Okay. And if I assume the current like this, it will be plus IR. If some case is like that, the voltage, the polarity of the resistance is given, but the current I am assuming in the downward direction, so it will be plus IR. This is a convention. I think you know this. Okay. Now, as per this convention, this equation of KVL I have written here. Now you see here, the voltage is gaining, so therefore I have written plus V, and the current is flowing from positive to negative potential in the inductor, in the coil rather. So therefore I am writing minus L di dt. Okay, or minus E. if this voltage is E. Okay, but suppose if I change the polarity, suppose that is the definition of E, and this is the definition of minus E. Sorry, this is the definition of E prime. Okay, so that means the same equation will be V plus E prime equals to 0 or V equals to minus E prime. So that we got here. So V equals to minus E prime. So that means E and E prime both are same voltage but with different convention, different polarity. Okay. So that means the E, when we are considering E, we are assuming that the coil is basically a load or a passive element. But when we are considering E prime, we are considering the coil is basically another source where the potential should increase from negative to positive. So that means our perspectives become different for this E and E prime. So E prime, here we have considered it is a load or passive element, and when we are taking E prime, we are considering this as a source. Is that clear? So these things you should understand very clearly. Clear, student?
Yes, sir.
Now,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
so how we can make this thing? Okay, so let's see how we can make this. Suppose we have a iron like this, piece of iron, and we have a coil wound on it. Okay, and this coil is carrying some current. Okay, now what will happen? Which direction the flux will flow? The flux will flow in this direction. Okay, and the flux will flow like this, like this. Am I right? Okay, now suppose
Yes, sir.
huh? Suppose I have n number of turns. Okay, now this is a piece of iron. Another circuit, another thing I am drawing, that is also a similar kind of thing, but here I have a structure like this. So this is another 3D. It is not the two-dimensional also. So 3D like this, and I have a coil wound on it. Like this. And through it, a current is flowing like this. Okay. Now what will be the flux path, the flux will flow like this. Okay. Now, can you tell me that in which setup or in which configuration will get better flux?
Second one.
Hmm?
Sir, second one, sir.
Sir,
Second one.
second one.
Second one.
Why?
Sir, because
Lesser reluctance because of
sir,
the
better
structure.
reluctance because of
Correct. So again, the reluctance is the term. Reluctance. It is inversely proportional to the magnetic permittivity, isn't it? So if reluctance is more, then the flux will be less. If the reluctance is less, the flux will be more. Okay. That means the reluctance is just like a resistance in an electrical circuit. Okay. Now, reluctance depends on the material only. Here in the first configuration, we have a iron piece like this, iron bar. But somehow the flux is not getting any path after some time. So then it has to flow to the air. So here you have air only. That means the flux lines are forced to flow to air. The larger part of the flux lines are through air. And air, you know that air is not a magnetic material. Okay? Air is not a ferromagnetic material like iron. In the second configuration, flux find a path through iron only. Okay? It is not facing any high reluctance path like air. The total path of the flux is confined within a ferromagnetic core. So therefore, we'll get better flux, more amount of flux. So that is the difference between these two. So that means to have a better flux, good amount of flux, we prefer the second configuration. Okay. You understood why we are preferring the second configuration? So already we have 71 participants and the time is also 15 minutes over. I can close the room. Okay.
So can I just
Now,
repeat the thing that why the
which one?
why the second configuration is more
In the second configuration, flux find its path totally through a ferromagnetic material like iron. And iron offers really low reluctance. So therefore, the amount of flux that will be generated in the second configuration will be more.
okay.
Okay. And you should know that just like the EMF, electromotive force, or voltage, these two are similar for electrical circuits. For magnetic circuit, we have a magnetomotive force. magnetomotive force or MMF. Okay, this MMF doesn't depend on the material. This MMF doesn't depend on the material or the media through which the flux is flowing. This MMF completely depends on the what? The amount of current and number of turns. So this is the product of number of turns and current and has the unit of AT. AT means ampere turns. So MMF is F equals to NI AT. AT is the ampere turns, is the unit of the MMF. And the flux, this will be detailed, discussed in details when the magnetic circuit will be discussed. That is a different chapter. So this flux is MMF divided by reluctance. Just like the current in electrical circuit is EMF by reluctance. Okay, so here we have MMF by reluctance. EMF by resistance in electrical circuits, here it is MMF by reluctance. So that means, so as in the expression of the flux, we have this media dependent property or material dependent property, that is reluctance. So therefore, flux is a function of reluctance, but not the MMF. MMF depends on the amount of current flowing through the coil and the number of turns. So a fellow is waiting, Arjun Shoiba. So I'm just admitting him and asking him that, Arjun Shoiba, can you unmute yourself? Arjun Shoiba is still joining. Okay. I think he has some connectivity issue, therefore he has. Arjun Shoiba. Is he there? No, he's not there. Okay. Anyway, so have you understood this point? That flux is MMF by reluctance. So this is how, if we want to make an inductor. So this is an example of inductor. So that means inductor means we need Abrojyoti Sen. I don't know from where these people are coming. Abrojyoti Sen.
Yes, sir. Yes,
You
sir.
have joined just now?
No, sir. Actually, I was joined earlier also, but due to the net connection, I just got disconnected and now I'm again connected.
Okay. So mute yourself. Okay. Now this is the example of inductor, because in inductor we need a coil, and the coil should be wound on a ferromagnetic material such that the ferromagnetic material, when the flux will flow through the ferromagnetic material, it will find a complete magnetic path. So this is how an inductor is made. Okay. Now, if I have So if I have two coils, one is like this, another is like this. So this is one coil, and this is coil 2. Okay. And what I have connected a voltage source, and now I am using a alternating voltage source or AC voltage source with coil 1. To excite the coil 1, I am using an alternating voltage source.
Sir,
Okay.
can you repeat this part once, sir? I could not hear anything because of network issues.
Okay. So in that same similar type of iron structure, as there are 4 limbs, these are all limbs. So this is one limb, this is another limb. So there are 4 limbs on that iron structure. So I have used 2 limbs to wound 2 different coil, to wind 2 different coil. Okay, so one coil, that is a coil 1, is having the number of turns N1, and the second coil, which is called coil 2, is having the number of turns N2. Now I have taken the coil 1 to excite it by an alternating voltage source, suppose V1. Okay, is that clear now? Now
Yes, sir. Yes,
obviously
sir, I
there
got
will
it.
be some current. Current will flow I. Okay, and just like the previous case, here also some voltage will be induced. Okay, and that voltage, how you will define the voltage E1? Either you can use N d phi dt or N L di dt. So E1 equals to minus N d phi dt. Now you should know what is the nature of the flux. Then only you can evaluate the voltage E1. Okay, so to know what is the actual expression of E1, you should know what is the flux. Now, as we are using a voltage source which is sinusoidal, it's a sinusoidal voltage source. Okay, now the flux also will be sinusoidal. And the expression of the flux we can take as some maximum value into sine omega t, where phi m is the maximum value of the flux at any point and omega is the angular frequency. Okay, so we can also draw it like this with respect to time. This is the nature of the flux, which is a time varying quantity, and it's a sinusoidal function of time. Okay, and this maximum value, as I defined there, is called phi m. Okay, and this time period is t. Okay, and what is t? T is equals to 1 by f. Okay, that means 1 by f means 2 pi by omega. So this is how the omega is defined. So that means omega is nothing but 2 pi by t. Okay, for an example, suppose the omega is 314 radian per second. Can you tell me what will be the value of t? Anybody?
So 0.1.
0.02.
0.02.
So t is 20 millisecond. Okay, so t equals to 20 millisecond. Can you tell me what is the value of f?
50.
So f is 50 cycles per second or hertz. So these two are the units of this. This is the old unit of frequency, and now we call it hertz. So 50 hertz, the frequency which we had as our household supply. So that means it is clear that as our frequency is 50 hertz, the waveform which we get at our end having the time frequency of 20 millisecond. Okay, and the omega becomes 314 radian per second. Okay, so this is how we are defining the flux, which is the time varying quantity. So if we now substitute the value of the flux here, so it will be phi n sine omega t. If you take the derivative, what it will be? Anybody?
Sir, minus n omega
minus n omega phi m
omega
cos
phi
omega t.
n cos
Omega t.
Clear? So that means what type of waveform we are getting? Is it a sinusoidal waveform or different? Sinusoidal. So after differentiation also, we are getting sinusoidal only, isn't it? The amazing thing. Now, for sinusoidal thing, what we do, actually we are interested a specific value of it. I think you are not exposed to those values like average value and RMS values. Have you?
Sir, we have done slightly
Yes,
in
sir.
class 11 and
Yes,
12.
sir.
Sir, in AC we have learned in class.
So in basic electrical itself, another part which is taken by
Sir, your audio is not clear, sir.
Sir, please
Ah,
repeat one.
It's not clear.
You are not audible, sir.
I'm not audible.
Sir,
I get
Now
the
it's
problem.
okay.
Now
Now
okay,
it's
sir.
okay.
Now okay.
Now you are.
No, I'm just asking that if you are aware of these terms like RMS and average values,
Yes,
Sir.
yes.
where
Yes,
you
sir.
will get this?
Yes, sir.
Another part of the basic
Yes, sir.
electrical
Only the
engineering
term,
No,
but not
sir.
in depth.
Pardon?
Sir,
I'm
like
not
only
getting.
the definition, not only the definition and the simple
Okay, on
theory.
definition. Okay, that will also work. For sinusoidal, actually, suppose we have a sinusoidal like this. Anything, any signal you take. Okay. So if this is the sinusoidal quantity, then the RMS value is given by the maximum value by root 2. So this is how we find out the RMS value. So here also the RMS value, if we want to find
Sir.
out, so this is the maximum value.
Sir.
Yes.
Sir, but
Yes.
this RMS, sir, but this SM by root 2 is only applicable for any sine function or cos
Yes,
function.
sine function only.
Like,
Sine, any
it is not,
sinusoidal function.
That means
Hello?
it is not applicable for everything.
No, it's not for everything. It is only for sinusoidal quantities. This root 2 value is only applicable for sinusoidal quantities, not for any waveform. And by alternating waveform, we means only sinusoidal waveform. At the beginning itself, I have assumed the voltage source is alternating voltage source. That is a sinusoidal.
Okay, sir.
And by that assumption only, we can get this E equals to this. Now it is clear.
Yes, sir.
This capital E1 is the RMS value of this sinusoidal voltage waveform. Actually, we'll get a sinusoidal voltage waveform. Okay. Is it clear? Actually, we'll get some sinusoidal voltage waveform.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Isn't it? Like this. Isn't it? And the RMS value of that is the maximum value divided by root 2. Okay. And this omega you know is 2 pi f. This is phi m. This is root 2. Sorry, root 2. So that means we can write this is equals to 4.44 f. So this is N1, I think. For coil 1, we should write it N1. So everyone, you substitute this N1. So F phi m N1. Okay. Is this clear? So how we are getting this RMS voltage? RMS value of the induced voltage. So this is the RMS value of the induced voltage. So this is very important expression you should remember. Okay. Is it clear? Now how we are getting this?
Yes, sir.
That will be discussed in another part of the subject. Okay. Where you will study the basic concept of alternating quantities. Okay, so there this will be discussed. I can tell you that for now, I can tell you that suppose if you have an alternating voltage source or alternating current or any alternating quantity, alternating means sinusoidal only. If you have a sinusoidal quantity or alternating quantity like voltage, current, flux, etc., and if you are interested to find out the average value, so average value I think you can calculate. Okay, so the average, what will be the average value? Can you tell me? The average value means you have to find out the area under 1 time.
0.
Sir, for a full
Sir,
cycle,
Zero.
zero, sir. For a
Sir,
full
for a
cycle,
full
it's
cycle
zero.
it's 0, sir, because the total area under the curve will become like positive and negative, so 0.
So positive area equal to the negative area. The positive area will be equal to the negative area, and they will cancel out. So average value which you will get for a perfect alternating waveform will be 0. So that means it is of no use. As if it is of no use. If you want to give some measure of a sinusoidal quantity, and if you refer the average value, it doesn't mean anything. So that means you have to go for a different value. Okay? Because sinusoidal volt by sinusoidal volt, you can do
Sir, you are not audible,
Sir,
sir.
you are not audible again.
again. I am not audible.
No,
Sir,
sir.
now it is
okay.
Sir, sir, you are not audible.
Okay, now it's audible.
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
Maybe some individual problem also there. For your network also you may have this type of problem sometimes, not always. I am just telling that কি বলছিলাম ভুলে গেলাম কি বলছিলাম জানো একটা
Sir, average
Okay,
value for a full
so that
cycle.
that when okay, so if we are interested to find only average value for this type of perfect sinusoidal perfect alternating quantity, always will be stuck to 0. So and if we deal with 0, we will not get anything. But we know that by alternating voltage, so alternating quantities like current, flux, voltage, etc., we can do some work, isn't it? We can glow some lamp, we can rotate some motor, we can rotate some fan. So that means we can do some work. But with this average value, we cannot proceed further. So therefore, we have to use a different measure for alternating quantities. And what is that measure? That measure is the RMS value. Okay, so that measure is called the RMS value. Root means square value. Okay, not just averaging this, you just take the square of the quantity, then you make the average, then you make root of that. So first you have to square it. Okay, the signal you have to square it, then you have to take the average of that, then you make a root. Okay, it will give you the RMS value. And during this averaging this value, you have to apply the integration. Is that clear? But when you are doing the square, your positive negative problem will be over, isn't it? So therefore, for this type of perfect sinusoid or alternating quantities, this RMS value is having some importance. But I am not discuss this in details because this will be discussed in other part of this subject. So have you understood this value? How you are getting this E1? So that means E1 is the RMS value of the induced voltage in the coil 1. Remember, E1 is not the V1 which you have applied. Clear? Now, the second thing is we have another coil wound on the same iron core but different limb. So this is the path of the magnetic flux phi. This is the path of the phi t. So when the flux phi t is linking the first coil or coil 1, it is inducing a voltage E1 equals to 4.44 F phi m into N1. But the same flux, as it is clear from this figure, that same flux is also linking the second coil, coil 2. So can you tell me that what will be the voltage or whether any voltage will be induced there? If we consider the coil 2, because coil 2 is not connected with any voltage source.
Sir, can you repeat the
Coil
question?
2 is just open circuited. Now, I want to know that whether any voltage will be induced in coil 2.
Sir, due to
Or not?
mutual inductance,
Yes, sir,
some
due
of
to
the
mutual inductance.
I don't know what is
there-
mutual inductance.
Sinusoidal, sir. Change.
Flux is varying or not?
Yes, sir, it will vary.
Which flux is linking that N2? Is that the same? Correct. So that means the same flux. Okay, the same flux is linking both the coil. Okay, now you can say it mutual, because as the same flux is linking both the coils, so you can call it mutual flux. Okay, so that
Sir, it is again disrupting.
One are audible, sir.
Sir, your voice is not audible clearly.
you just due to some issue, voice may go, but it will return back. You just concentrate yourself on the
Sir, your voice
Sir,
is
we
not
can't
not
hear you
audible.
whatever
clearly.
I am writing.
Sir, it is again disrupting.
Whatever
your
I am
voice.
writing, that I am telling only. So you just concentrate on the board, whiteboard. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So E2 equals to minus into d pi dt. Because same flux is linking coil 2 also. So if that is the case, then we'll get the same or similar voltage in case of coil 2 also. Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
And also if we want to find out RMS value, we'll get the same expression. Only what will be the difference?
Sir, N2 will come.
N2.
Difference
Number
will
of turns.
number of turns will be different. Okay, so that means if we excite one coil, we'll get voltage induced in that coil as well as other coils which are wound on the same magnetic circuit. Okay, suppose we have a third coil, so there also I will get some voltage induced. Okay, suppose I have coil 3. So I will get some voltage induced in that coil also. And that will be related to the number of turns in 3. Suppose I have a third coil. So there also I will get the same voltage only with number of turns in 3. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So this is how I can go on placing several coils. So everywhere the voltage I will get in proportion to their number of turns only, and rest of the things will be same for all the coils. Okay. If there is one coil, then you can call it self. If there are multiple coils, then you have to call it mutual. Isn't it? If it is only one coil, as a component wise, we can call it inductor. If we have more than one coil, then we can call it a transformer. Okay. If we have two coils, then we call it two winding transformer. If we have three coils, then we call it three winding transformers. Okay. And the coil to which the voltage source or the input voltage is connected is called the primary. Okay. And the second coil where the voltage is getting induced is called the secondary. The third coil where the voltage is getting induced is called the tertiary. Okay, so I don't have any name for the fourth coil right now, but up to 3 coils are used for transformers. Primary and secondaries are very common. In typical application, we also use a tertiary winding, which is the third winding or third coil of a transformer. Is that clear? But you should remember that all these, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Clear. Now you should remember that all these coils are electrically isolated. There is no electrical connection between these coils. Okay, but you can't say that there is no connection. There may be no electrical connection, but there is one connection. What is that?
The flux.
Sir, the flux.
The magnetic circuit. The magnetic circuit is one, and that is linking all these coils. You see, all these 3 coils are connected by the magnetic circuit. Okay, so that means transformer is not only electrical circuits. The most important part of a transformer is the magnetic circuit. We should have a complete magnetic circuit. Complete magnetic circuit to have a transformer.
Sir.
Clear?
Sir.
Any question? Yes. Yes. What is your question?
Sir, if N2 and N3 is suppose they are same, and will the distance of the secondary and tertiary coils from the primary coil affect the average values?
No. No. There will be no change in flux. If there is the flux remains same, distance is not a matter.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So how much flux is linking, that does the matter. Clear? Now, from these expressions, we can find out the ratio of E1 by E2 that you will get N1 by N2. Also, if you try to find out the ratio of E1 by E3, you will get N1 by N3. So this is called the voltage ratio equals to the turns ratio. Voltage ratio is equals to the turns ratio. The term is turns ratio and voltage ratio. Clear? So for
Yes, sir.
transformer, the voltage ratio is equals to the turns ratio. Okay. Now, so that means suppose I have a coil of 100 turns. Okay. And another, I have a 10,000 number of turns. So if one side my voltage is 100 volts, what will be the E2?
So 10,000 volts. 10 to the
10
power 4.
volt.
So that means 10 kV, isn't it? 10 kilovolt. Okay. So that means this is how you can amplify the voltage. You can step the voltage up. Only with a 100 volt supply, you can make a 10 kV supply. Clear? So this is the advantage of transformer. You can step up the voltage. Also, you can step down the voltage. Suppose here you have E2 is 100 volt. Because you have 100 volt only, you don't have 10 kV. You have 100 volts. So what will be your E1? What will be E1?
It will be 1 volt, sir.
Sir, 1 volt. 1 volt.
1 volt. So that means with a 100 volt supply, you can make it 1 volt only. The voltage which is required for your electronic circuits, 1 to 5 volts. Okay, so that also you can make it. So that means transformer by transformer, you can step the voltage up, you can step the voltage down. Okay, so suppose if you have the voltage ratio of 100 volt by 10 kV volts. This is the transformer. Now in these transformers, you'll get 10,000 volt from the one side and 100 volts from another side. So it is not possible to touch on the 10 kV side, isn't it? Is it recommended to touch on the 10 kV side?
No, sir.
Do you think so?
No,
No,
sir.
sir.
No, sir.
Okay, it's not recommended. Okay, so we don't want to kill anybody, isn't it? If we want to do so, then we can suggest him. একটা ক্লাসে আছে, আমি একটু পরে কল ব্যাক করছি। Okay. Now, can you tell me that these two coils are then different? But what is the similarity between these two coils? So that means 100 volt coil and 10 kV coils are different. But what is the similarity between these two coils?
So they are in same phase.
Okay, they are in same phase. What else?
The magnetic
Anything else?
flux linkage is same in both the coils.
Huh?
The magnetic flux linkage is
Flux
same
linkage.
in both the coils.
Okay, flux linkage is same. Then
Sir, the energy transmitted will be
frequency
the
is
same.
same. No, we cannot say like this. At least from this expression, we cannot say this. So that will come later, because energy, before energy, we should discuss the power. Then power into time is the energy, isn't it? So that will come later. But up to this, only the voltage expression we have with us. So from this two expression, what we can say? E1 equals to 4.44 F phi A into N1. So this total term is same for all the coils, isn't it? So can't we write like this? E1 by N1 equals to E2 by N2, isn't it? So we can write this. So E1 by N1, E2 by N2, or if we have third coil also, we can write E3 by N3. So what does it mean? This is basically called the EMF per turn. EMF per turn. So what is the significance of this? So EMF per turn is the EMF induced across a single turn. So that is same for all the coils. One coil may have 100 number of turns. Another coil may have 10,000 number of turns. But if it is possible to measure the voltage across a single turn of any coil in a transformer, the coil may be 100 turns coil or coil may be 10,000 turns coil. So if it is possible to measure the induced voltage or induced EMF across a single turn of any coil in a transformer, always we should have a same voltage. So that is the significance of this expression. So this is called the EMF per turn expression. Clear? So that means just by adding, piling this EMF per turn up, we are getting higher voltage. Clear? Are this expression clear?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Any
sir.
question? Any question so far? Okay. Now, as you are saying many things like energy, power, etc., etc., but I should tell you one thing, that voltage is not a power, voltage is not energy. Voltage is increased, man, that means the power will be increased. It is not the correct. Okay. For energy, power, etc., we should determine or we should consider one more thing, that is the current. So voltage into current gives us the power, and power into time gives us the energy for electrical systems. Okay, is that clear? So that I should define you very clearly that what is power, what is electrical power, because electrical power is different, mechanical power is different. For electrical power, electrical power is defined because as you have seen that the voltage we use is, at least for transformer, the voltage we use is a sinusoidal voltage. Current also will have sinusoidal current, and the current may also have some phase difference. Clear? Now, when we'll call it the power, so how we can calculate this power? Now, do you know the phasor thing, phasor algebra or vector algebra in electrical?
Yes, sir. We
Yes, sir.
studied in 12th.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Where you have studied this? Where you have studied this phasor?
Sir, in 12th.
12. Sir, in 12th. AC circuit.
So how we can represent this in phasor? These two quantities. Suppose the first one.
So if we draw an arrow.
Sir, if we
by expression. Okay, so if we draw some arrow like this.
Yeah, that will represent the V of t, and if we go at an angle phi below that line, below that arrow, we could represent I of t.
Yes, sir.
This is I.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And what is this angle?
Theta, sir.
Angle is
Phi.
Negative phi, yeah.
okay. And why it is downward? Current?
Because
current is lagging. Sir, because current is lagging.
Current is lagging. Okay. So by expression, how we can write this? By some polar representation, we can write this. So V is the RMS value of Vm. And I is the RMS value. When we are using this capital letter, they are either maximum value or RMS value. Remember this. When we are writing in small letters, so they are the time varying quantity. Okay, so when we are writing small letters means they are the time varying quantity or instantaneous values. When we are writing capital letters, they are either RMS value or maximum value. Okay, so here we should write V with angle 0 because the V has no angle with our reference. But this current has some angle with our reference, that is -5. So this is called the polar representation of the phasors. So this is how we can represent a phasor in polar form. We can also represent the
স্যার অ্যাঙ্গেল 0 এটা কি মানে কিভাবে এটা রিপ্রেজেন্ট কিভাবে স্যার ওটা রিপ্রেজেন্ট করছি মানে ভি অ্যাঙ্গেল 0 মানে ওটা কি 0 কি স্যার আমি যেটা বলতে যাচ্ছি মানে ভি অ্যাঙ্গেল যদি থিটা লিখি তাহলে আইটা কি হয়ে যাবে থিটা -5
থিটা -5 হয়ে যাবে।
আচ্ছা আচ্ছা
কারেক্ট
ঠিক আছে
okay
yes sir
now this s is defined as, so that means we have written this in terms of, so we should write this v with 0, or we can write v plus j0. So this is called the rectangular form and this is the polar form. And the current in vector form is I, or we can write I cos phi minus j. J means the imaginary root over -1. I sin phi. So this is the rectangular representation. And this is the polar representation. This all will be discussed in alternating fundamentals of alternating quantities in the other part of the subject. So the power which we define like this, V into I conjugate. Okay, so this is how we define the electrical power. V into I conjugate. As you can see, the voltage and currents here we can represent by a complex variables. V plus J0, I cos phi minus J I sin phi. So therefore, we can have this conjugate. So this power is called the apparent power. And this has the unit of volt ampere. This power has the unit of volt ampere. And as you can see, both the voltage and current are complex variable. So we'll get, at the end, we'll get another complex variable. Okay. So P is the real part of that complex variable or complex power, and Q is the imaginary part of that complex power. This P we can also write like this. S cos phi or S, okay, so S cos phi or Vi cos phi. This P has the unit of watt. So this is called the active power. So this, you are familiar with this power only. You don't have exposure with the other powers. And Q, which is the imaginary part of that same power, apparent power, S sin phi or Vi sin phi, this is called the reactive power. This has the unit of volt, ampere, reactive or var. Okay, so you should remember these three units. For apparent power, the unit which we use is called the volt ampere. For active power, the active power is the real part of the apparent power, having the unit of watt, and the Q, which is the imaginary part of the apparent power, is also called the reactive power, is having the unit of VAR, volt ampere reactive or var. So is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So you should
Yes, sir.
remember this definition during our transformer discussion, otherwise you will not understand the thing clearly. Any doubt? Any question?
Sir,
স্যার
Yes.
রিঅ্যাক্টিভ পাওয়ারটা স্যার কোথাও কাজে লাগে?
অবশ্যই রিঅ্যাক্টিভ পাওয়ার অবশ্যই কাজে লাগে, and that is the major concern of any power utility, not the active power, because whatever the billing, whatever the bill you pay for your household application is only for this active power. Because if you can remember that the power for the energy for which we pay is the kilowatt hour. So basically we consider the watt part, not the wattless part. Okay, but if we are consuming the both the active and reactive power, but we don't pay for this VAR part of the power, reactive part of the power. Okay, so therefore this reactive part of the power is very much related with the voltage. So I would not discuss right now, and this is out of your scope also. So how reactive power regulates the voltage, controls the voltage. So if you see that at your end the voltage becomes, instead of 220 it becomes 170 or 160 or maybe less than that, it may be due to the high reactive power consumption by other loads. Okay, so this reactive power is very much related with the voltage control of the lines. Clear? So don't think that this is, as this is a wattless power, this is a worthless power. Don't think so.
sir,
Yes.
sir, এই I conjugated significance-টা মানে আরেকবার একটু বলবেন?
Okay, so I conjugated significance টা কি? Now you see suppose just একটু আগে কেউ বললে যে why I am taking the voltage with the reference. I can also take the voltage with some other reference. So there the voltage vector will be different. Some V with angle plus theta 1. And suppose this current okay. Now when you will go for this apparent power, which value you should take? And how you should multiply it? V into I.
No, then that angle component will be missed. So
So whether you are interested in this angle, then you won't get this angle. So that means this is wrong. You are not getting the angle between voltage and current. So get the angle between voltage and current, you should make at least one term conjugate. Either V I conjugate or V conjugate I. Either this or this. The second one also will give you the same thing, theta 1 plus theta 2. But this is more common definition. This is another definition which is also used in power systems. This expression is also used in power systems, but this is more common. VI conjugate. Is it clear?
yes, sir, it's clear.
Anything else? Okay. So in the next class, we'll discuss that power thing, the current, power, energy, etc. What is the definition of transformer? What does it transform? So that thing we'll discuss in the next class. As you suggested that, sir, please provide some notes beforehand, at least 1-2 pages note. But I already communicated your seer that I don't have any notes. And if I give you these handouts, which I
Yes, sir,
discussed
we
in
have
the
no problem.
previous batch, that will also not be helpful for you, because every time I change my presentation, every time I change my topic a little bit. Okay, so you just consult the book that I have suggested if you want. Otherwise, you go through the class notes only. That will be helpful, and you try to attend all the classes. I think you will be benefited.
Sir, please name the book again.
Yes. So this is the book by P.S. Bimra, Electrical Machinery. Electrical Machinery by P.S. Bimra, Khanna Publishers. Okay, so this book I have suggested for this part of the subject. So you can consult this book if you want. Otherwise, you can just follow the class notes, or you
স্যার
can watch
আমাদের
the
কোনো মানে
class.
চ্যাপ্টার শেষ হলে এমনি কোনো টিউটোরিয়াল বা কোনো কোয়েশ্চেন দেওয়া হবে না, যেগুলো প্র্যাকটিস করার
Yes,
মতো, নাকি
before
আমাদের
that
বুক
also
থেকে
I can
করতে
give
হবে?
you, and the from book also you can do that, but I can also provide you some problem sheet.
হ্যাঁ স্যার ওটা করলে বেটার হয়।
আমাদের বেটার হয়।
Okay, so that I can, but after 2-3 classes.
Yes, sir, no problem.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So thank you very much, and
Thank you, sir.
Let me
Thank you, sir.
take this.
Thank
Okay,
you,
so
sir.
Thank you, sir.
regarding this
Sir.
attendance, yes. I ask you to rename yourself with in a proper format, like last 4 digit of your class roll number followed by your name. But many of you are not following this format. I don't know why. So from the next class onward, you try to follow that format. So many of you have followed that format. In the participant list, they are at the top, and who haven't followed